It's always a privilege and honor to have all of you here, especially on Sundays like this. It's a privilege and honor that you leave your home, leave all what you're supposed to be doing to come here to listen to the Word of God. I appreciate God for that, and I know that you're coming here today will never be in vain in Jesus' name.
Amen.
You are all welcome. May the Almighty God reach out to touch you as you have come in His presence in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Quickly open your Bible with me to John chapter 15. John chapter 15, and I want to read from verse 16. I'll read from verse 16 to 19. Praise God. Praise God. John 15, and I read from verse 16. You have not chosen me. I'm reading from Amplified Bible. You have not chosen me, but I have chosen you, and I have appointed you. I have planted you, that you might go and bear fruit, and keep on bearing, and that your fruit may be lasting, that it may remain and abide. So that whatever you ask the Father in my name, as presenting that I am, He may give to you.
Amen.
This is what I command you, that you love one another. If the world hates you, know that it hated me before it hated you. If you belong to the world, they will treat you with affection and with love. But because you are not of the world, but I have chosen you, selected you out of the world hates and detests you. Praise God.
Hallelujah.
The next place I want us to quickly read is Romans chapter 12. Romans chapter 12, and I read only verse 2. It's a popular place too that we have been reading. Romans 12, and I read verse 2. Do not be conformed to this world or this age, fashioned after or adapted to its external and superficial custom, but be transformed, changed by the entire renewal of your mind, by its own ideas and its own attitude, that you may prove for yourself what is the good and acceptable and perfect will of God, even the thing which is good and acceptable and perfect in His sight for you. Praise God.
Hallelujah.
Let's bow our head together as we pray. Father, I want to bless your name this hour for this word, for this hour. It is not me, but you. Father, I have just come as a human being, but it is you who will speak through me. The Holy Spirit of the living God, I welcome you this hour to take over my vocal cord, to grant me utterance and to grant me wisdom, to speak to your congregation. Father, Lord my God, may your word fall on fertile ground. May the word of God that will come today never bring condemnation, but to bring a way of lifting us up.
Amen.
May the word of God help us to affect changes in our lives in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Father, as our faces differ, so our needs. May your word touch us in our different areas of our needs in the mighty name of Jesus. And we silence every opposing power, any power that wants to stand against the word of God. We silence it this hour and we say only you alone will have it your way. Holy Spirit of God, this is your hour. Do that which no pastor can do. In Jesus' mighty name we pray.
Amen.
Praise God.
Hallelujah.
Today I want to speak to us briefly on a topic I titled, Who is determining your identity? Who is determining your identity? In other words, who is determining your life? Who is that person that is determining your identity? You know, where we read in John, Jesus was saying that I have chosen you out of the world. You didn't choose me. Because God loves us so much, He gave us one important aspect that no other creature of God has, and that is the freedom of choice. After God chose us, He gave us the freedom to choose whatever we like. God never chose us and forced us to love Him. Jesus loved us, but He never forced us to love Him. Because He wants us to love Him because we want to love Him. He wants us to love Him because we feel like doing that. God never forced us to love him. That is why he gave us free will. But in that area of choosing, one thing is very certain, that it is not easy to do the right thing. If doing the right thing is very easy, nobody will do anything bad. If doing what is good and right is very easy, there will be nobody that is doing anything that is bad. Everybody will be doing good. But it is difficult to do good, especially without the leading of the Holy Spirit. And that is why Jesus said, I have chosen you and asked you, commanding you to love one another. It is difficult to love somebody that is offending you all the time. It's difficult to love somebody that does not agree with you all the time. But Jesus is commanding us to do that. So today we are going to look into the Bible and find out who is really determining what we do, our lifestyle, the way we are. Who is that person that is causing us to behave the way we are behaving? Or which forces are directing us? Is it God that directs us? Or is it our friends? Or is it our lust and desires that direct us? Who determines your identity? What people know you for? Who is the person that is causing you to behave the way you are? Praise God.
Hallelujah.
You know, when we were small, our mothers and our fathers made choices for us. They taught us the way we should go. They showed us ways. And they determined so many things for us. Because when we were small, at that age, when you are going to school, it is not you that decided which school you will go. It was your parents that said, I want this child to go to this school. They registered you there, and you started going there. But the time gone on when you as an adult must make decisions on which area and what you want to do. Praise God. Hallelujah. But most often than not, we decide only on those things that we think will favor us. We never considered God in our decisions. We never considered God in anything we want to do. We consider our friends, we consider our relations, we consider those people that are influencing us before we take any decisions. But we never consider God. But Jesus said, I have chosen you out of the world. Because I have chosen you, the people will hate you. It is very obvious that each time you want to be in the will of the Lord, that the people will be against you. Oppositions will rise up against you. But today I want us to look into in 4 areas of our lives we should take decisions. The areas we should choose and the things we should choose in our life. Praise God. Hallelujah. Praise God. Hallelujah. Open your Bible with me. We have just read Romans 12. That is said, do not be conformed to this world, but renew our mind. The first area that we should choose is choosing God. Choosing God is not very simple. Even though one of us, everybody here, seated here, want to be called a child of God. Of course, if you do not believe in God, you will not be here today. You didn't just come here in this hot room to sit here. Because you love God, that is why you come. But choosing God involves more than just coming to church. Choosing God involves you giving your whole soul, your mind, your thinking, your energy to God. Of course, you don't see God. To the work of God, to the things that God cares about. If you consider when you were small, when your parents decided to give you life, and when you were growing up, there are so many things that happened to you that it was not your parents that saved you. That not even anything saved you, but God himself. There are many situations you pass through that if not for God, you will not be able to stand. So many of you came through the river, through the ocean, through many difficult situations, and you passed through. So many of you, when you were small, you were sick. You had friends that died at a certain age, but you are still alive today. But my question is, have you chosen God? Have you really chosen in your life to serve God? With all your heart, because Jesus said, I have chosen you. But did you choose him? It is one thing to somebody to go and say, you are my friend, I want you to be my friend. It is another thing for you to accept that person as your friend. You have all Facebook. Sometimes people will send you friendship requests. I want us to be friends. It's not everybody that send you that you answer. There are some people that will send you don't, they just ignore it. Some will just remove it. So Jesus said, I have chosen you. But my question is, have you chosen me? Have you chosen to be a child of God? Do you want to live according to the will of God? Because when you choose Jesus, you will live according to his ways. When you choose Jesus, you will live according to his thinking. You will choose according to the things that please him. You cannot be a friend to somebody when you are doing exactly the opposite of what the person likes. If he is my friend, for example, and every time those things I know that will annoy him, I'm doing it, it's not going to work out. It's only a question of time the friendship will cut off. So when Jesus said, I have chosen you, and you say, I've chosen you, Jesus, too, I choose you. It's not just saying it. Are you behaving and living the way that two of you can work together? The Bible says, can two work together unless they agree? Amen. So when you are not in line with the word of God, even though you with your mouth you are choosing Jesus, with your heart you are far away from him. Praise God. Hallelujah. Praise God. Hallelujah. So Jesus has chosen you, but you don't need to live according to the word. But that is the problem we are having as children of God. We allow the world to determine who we are. We allow the world to determine what we should be, how we should be, how we should look. Praise God. Hallelujah. Praise God. Hallelujah. The second point is that we must refuse to be defined by others. Hebrews chapter 11 verse 24. Sometimes most people live according to the dictates of others. What will people say? What will people think? How do people see me? That is more important to them than how God will see them. Hebrews chapter 11. And I want to read from verse 24. Are we there? I read from verse 24. It's talking about Moses. He said, by faith, Moses, when he had grown to be maturity and become great, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter, because he preferred to share the oppression, suffer the hardship, and bear the shame of the people of God, rather than to have the fleeting enjoyment of a sinful life. He considered the contempt and abuse and shame the born for Christ, the Messiah who was to come, to be greater than the wealth and treasures of Egypt. For he looked forward and away for the reward or the recompense. Motivated by faith, he left Egypt behind, and being unaware and dismayed by the wrath of the king, for he never flinched but held staunchly to his purpose and endured steadfastly as one who gazes on him who is invisible. Let me explain this a little bit. We all know that when Moses was born, like I said, their parents can make choices for you. Pharaoh gave law that every Hebrew child, male child that was born, should be killed. And when Moses was born, they decided to go and take Moses and put near the river, where the Pharaoh's daughter saw him. And Pharaoh's daughter took Moses, and Moses grew in the palace. And then after Moses grew for a long time, he realized that he was not from that family. He knew that he was not a son of the Pharaoh. He knew that he's from the Hebrew side. He could have kept quiet, enjoy his life in palace, and grow and remain a prince. But he made a choice, saying, no, I am not an Egyptian, I am a Hebrew. No, I am for God, I am not for these people, the pagans. He left the comfort, left the place he's living as a king, and decided to run away to live with the poor people. That was a choice he made. He didn't want people to define his identity. Everybody expected him to remain a prince. People know him as, the prince is passing by. Everybody likes like that. When you are walking around, they say, that's the prince. He knew people like that. People wanted him to remain that. But he didn't want to be that. There are many things people want you to be. But God does not want you to be that. You must not live to please people. You must not live your life because what people expect you to be. Praise God.
Hallelujah.
So when Moses decided, no, I do not want to be identified as Pharaoh's grandson. I want to be identified as a Hebrew, the people of God. Even though it cost me that I have no money, even though it cost me that I'm not driving with limousine, but I want to be identified with God. Most times we allow people to determine our life. We allow fashion to determine our life. We allow Facebook to determine our life. There is a brother I know, when we came new, some new people that are coming now in where we do business will know him. If you see his one ear, it's so big like this. Every time you see him, he have plaster here. They cut it, he will come again. What happened? When he came new, other boys, they are doing guy, they open ear. He also opened ear like every other person that opened ear. But his own didn't work out. He got cancer from that. And until today, after 18 years, he's going to the hospital every time to do operation. Maybe you will know him. One side of his ear, he said, if you come to Fugo place, sometimes he was there last week. I don't want to mention them. I think maybe you saw him last week. Here, it was when he came in. He just opened his ear. Because others are doing fashion. What was the purpose of opening ear? He don't know. He just wanted to be part of it, to belong. So that he's one of them. Now we are doing it. We just want to follow people. We never considered what is the will of God.
Amen.
We never considered, does God want us to live like that? He did that. Other people are doing the same. They went free. But in his own case, they didn't work out. Till today, one ear is so big. They will go and cut it out. It will grow again. Till tomorrow. After 18 years or more. That is being identified with fashion. Want to be like others. Not considering what God wants. How many of us are identified with fashion? They wear big shoe. They're not considering whether it matches their shape. They say today is short skirt, is raining, or short neck. And some people are like elephant and they want to belong. Some people are so tiny like this fan, they want to belong. You must think what will suit you. You must think, how have God made you? How are you looking? The fashion is not for everybody. What is looking good on me might not look good on you. What look good on you might not look good on me. I must not go with the bandwagon. Because God does not want all of us to have the same shape. So why must all of us wear the same fashion? No. Praise God. Amen. Who is determining your identity? Your friends. Many things we do is just not because of us, because of our friends. And what will they say? They will call me Jew man. If I don't follow them now, they will say, this one don't understand. If I don't, you don't die because others are dying. You don't do things because others are doing. My brothers, as you come in this land, people will tell you, this is the way it is. So it is not true, because everybody's destiny is not the same. We all don't have the same destination. We are not going to the same place. When you enter the bus or the S-Bahn, inside that plane or the bus, everybody seated there, but everybody have different destinations. When my mother was coming yesterday, 2 days at night, on Friday night, to arrive yesterday, there were many in the plane. But all of them were not coming to Grunberg, where I am living. Some are going to Munich. Some are going even to London. Some are even going to other places. But they were in one plane. And get to that place, everybody will find their route. That is how it is in life. We have come here to Germany. But what is your own destination? What have God designed you to be? When you join with other people, you will not get to where you want to go. Because every one of us have a different assignment from God. You have to locate your own assignment and live according to the will of God. So when you choose God, you will not ignore what the people are saying. Because when you want to be friend to the world, you will be an enemy to God. Amen. Jesus said, because I have chosen you, the world will hate you. Each time you want to live for God, enemy and temptations will come from nowhere. Praise God. Amen. So when fashion is determining your future, consider that might not be the will of God. Amen. I am not against fashion. I like to look good. I want people to look good. I hate more quantity. I like quality. You look good, I like it. Praise God. But you must not get it at all cost. It must not be do or die. It must not be at all cost. Don't use all the money you have to buy fashion. It's not why you came here.
Amen.
You will get 100 oil. You make your hair with 20 euro. You buy this one with 40 euro. You buy this one with this. People call you from Africa and say, oh, African people, you off the phone. Because all the money is gone. It's not why you came. You came to be of use to your people.
Amen.
God decided to choose you out of your family so that you can become useful to that family. Bless God. So fashion is not the thing. Life is not all about how you are looking. Oh boy, now my face, my hair. Many women, many men, they only think about themselves. How am I looking? This hair, this shoe, this. My phone, Facebook. Tell people don't come in Facebook. This is only what they're interested in checking. Who commented somebody? They make hand like this. This one comment, they make like this. This one comment, they make like. All the time it's on Facebook. I'm not against it, but I'm not in it. I don't know how to do it. But all of you know that if I want, I can know. Praise God.
Hallelujah.
We allow social media to tell us how we should live. This time you are spending, you could spend just a minimal time of it and read the word of God. Believe me, do that for 1 week, do that for 1 month, your life will change.
Amen.
The time we have to open our hands to comment on everything. Oh, 10 people have written. Oh boy, you do this one. I miss it. I miss it. How many times have you said you missed reading the word of God? Praise God. Hallelujah. Who is determining your identity? What? We chase after shadows and not knowing. The third point is that we're going to choose not to be stupid. Somebody should open Matthew chapter 22 and read from verse 23. Matthew 22, read from verse 23 to 29. Please read slowly and clearly that people will understand the story. Choosing not to be stupid. Because sometimes we allow tradition to make us to be fool. Is somebody there? Matthew 22, read from verse 23. Yeah, please.
From verse 23, the same day came to him the Sadducees, which say that there is no resurrection.
Let's voice up a little bit.
And asked him, saying, Master, Moses said, if a man die, having no children, his brother shall marry his wife, and raise up seed unto his brother. Now there were with us 7 brethren, and the first, when he had married a wife, diseased, and having no issue, left his wife unto his brother. 26. Likewise the second also, and the third, unto the seventh. And last of all women died also. 28. Therefore in the resurrection, whose wife shall she be of the 7? For they all had her. 29. Jesus answered and said unto them, Yea, do err, not knowing the scripture, nor the power of God. For in the resurrection...
No, it's okay, I said it 29.
Okay, sorry.
The story is clear. The Sadducees, they came to Jesus. And one, they believed there's no resurrection, but they wanted to tempt Jesus. They said, Master, Moses told us in the law that if a man die and he have a wife and he have no children, that the brother should take over the wife and make children for him. Now among us is one family. The first son married one woman and did not make any child and died. The second son took over the same woman and did not make any child and died. And the third one took over. No child, he died. Until the 7 of them died. Then the woman now died. They now asked Jesus, who is going to be the husband of this woman? Foolishness. Thinking about who will be the husband of a woman. A whole family of 7 men died following one woman. And nobody thought in their head, wait a minute, John is dead, Okoike is dead, John Boone is dead. Not my head though. And everybody is following. The Bible says in Mark chapter 7 and verse 13, making the word of God of no effect because of tradition. He said, Moses said in our tradition, if such person die, the brother should take over. That is foolishness. And it happens to us every day. Take off your family. There are many things. I said, my father did the same thing. Me too, I go do it. Who told you must do it? Did you work hard for your father? If your father had done so well, believe me, you Dangote does the son bother to come and do it?
Oh, yes? No.
If your father had done so well, you will not be here, believe me. There is no rich man's son, so rich man like that you see and go through and live like that.
No.
It's not possible. So if that thing which your father did was so well, why did he end up the way he did? How? It's my brother. You will tell me, I was in Kafanchan. I went to this. He said, great the kitchen. You went there. What did you call it? Bottom line, that is it. But if not my papa, what did their father do? Tradition. I'm not against customs and tradition. But you say, our people say, if such person died, the brother should do it. And the whole 7 men from one family all put head in one place and died. And nobody bothered to try to change the pattern. Nobody said, no, I must not obey this. I want to look for another woman. It is also in our life. We come in this land, we do not know anything. People will meet here, will tell you, boy, don't try. They say, you tell the next person. I went to one place to work last time. I came in, I was using the hook wagon I have in my hand. I climbed on it and it was rolling it around. One boy said, stop, are you not afraid of camera? Look camera. I said, get away, camera. You want to tell me this whole company, the only interest they have is to watch what I'm doing with you right now. Camera. But everybody has believed. That boy always put fear. The moment he said, camera is watching. Camera is watching. I said, so you think this company just pay somebody to sit on one camera and looking what I'm doing? So what am I saying is tradition. Would nobody bother to care, to know, to try to change the pattern. When we come, they say, it's just eat aduro. Don't try this. Don't try. When you, don't go. It's not that type of job. It's not for Africans. Don't bother yourself. Who told you it's not for Africans? I have seen many people. I told us last time. 4 men were passing in the afternoon with suits, looking good. One of them was African. He had training suit on with white men. They were making it like this and looking, and I was driving with my boss, sweating it out. As I just look at them, I became angry. I said, if you don't cross road, I'll just jump in. But he didn't do me anything. He lived his life well. He came here studying, and then he's working in an air-conditioned office. Because on that head song, and he's wearing trendy suit, and he was not sweating. It means he's coming from a air-conditioned office. So if I had done the same thing, maybe I would end up like that. But other people told me, oh boy, hustle for woman, oh boy, look for paper, oh boy. I'm not saying this, I'm against all these things. But tradition makes us to make mistakes. Just following the pattern. Nobody wants to try to change it. Nobody wants to do something else. Okay, did the same thing, I want to do the same. You don't want to find out, did he favor that person?
You're right.
Everybody just put your head. How can a family of 7 follow one woman and nobody this woman said nobody ask that question? Everybody just put head and they think it's normal. That is foolishness. Praise God. Hallelujah. Praise God. Hallelujah. Okay, the first one made mistake, second one made mistake, third one made mistake, and number 4 na mistake too. Number 5 mistake. Okay, stop. The last one. We are 5 boys. We are 8 children. We are 5 boys. Now I'm the first. The last child, which is boy too, The age between me and him is very long. Then imagine that first one that married that woman. How old do you think that last one was when he married? And when the woman that time will call him and say, John, he say, hey, ma, he will go and bring water. Or auntie. And after 20 years, this is done now. And you don't see who to marry. Is that person you should call auntie? Is that me marry? Is it not foolishness? But we think it's a fool. In not only women issue, other issues. That we will see that this road is not work. But we still want to pray. So, boy, I love different from my own. I want to try it too. I have a friend, Zoran, where I was working before. There is in a hospital where they care mad people. So early in the morning, one madman just come one place in one hole on the wall, and he was looking. The next day, another person come behind him and was looking too. By 1 week, 7 people queue up. They asked, what are you looking for? He said, I'm checking, maybe I'll find something inside the wall. By the time it's 1 week, 25 people will line up, but stay behind. Everybody queue up. Looking the same wall. They did their professor to come and queue behind. They asked them, he said, I want to know what is it that making these people to stand here every morning to look to. And then their organ was coming and said, okay, all the people here, they are mad people, gather all of them, put some. The professor said, no, I'm the prophet. So join them, they are mad person. Praise God. Sometimes we don't care. We just want us to go. You don't know what they are. You see people gather, you gather. What are they waiting for? You don't know. But you two are there. Bam, they come and shoot. They say they are robbers. You are one of them. You don't know, but you are one of them. Foolishness. Praise God.
Hallelujah.
In this land, be careful.
Amen.
You don't know what people are thinking. Somebody take this bag and put something illegal. And police is coming because it's cleverer than you. And you are innocent. He will give you, please what is it for me? My trouser is coming down. He give you the bag, you take it, and he's doing his trouser. Police coming this time. Who is the owner of the bag?
You.
You can say through to God till tomorrow. You finish foolishness. We have to be wise. Bible says we should be as harmless as those, but as wise as serpent. Praise God.
Hallelujah.
The last place we must choose is choosing to suffer now and get later than getting now and lose later. Praise God. Open your Bible with me. First Timothy chapter 6 and from verse 6. First Timothy chapter 6 and from verse 6. Is somebody there? Yes. First Timothy 6, starting from verse 6. First Timothy 6 from verse 6.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
It says, but godliness with contentment is great gain. For we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out. 8. And having food and remaining, let us be therewith content. 9. But they that we be rich fall into temptation and snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which draw men in destruction and perdition. 10. For the love of money is the root of evil, which we some converted after they have carried of faith, and pleased themselves through with many sorrows. 11. But thou, O man of God, flee these things, and follow after righteousness, godliness, faith, love, patience, meekness. 12. Fight the good fight of faith, lay hold on eternal life, we are unto that apostle called and have and good profession before many witnesses.
Okay, praise God. He said we must be contented with what we have. It is good to be ambitious in life, but not of ambition. Rome is not built in a day. You know, I always preach and say I don't like lazy people. People should not be lazy. But also, people should not, you cannot run faster than your shadow. There are people that just come today. Those days when we came, we say, oh boy, now me and them. Now me and them. The Europeans, they come to Africa, they steal everything. Now me and them. Now me and them. So, boy, take it easy. I just come. We were put in one room, me and him. He bought granite. I don't know what he want to do with granite. I just opened granite and I was chewing. He come behind and shout. He said, Oscar, why you throw my granite and they take on the left market? Because I didn't understand. He take granite to put his mouth. He's learning how to go drunk in the mouth with granite. And I didn't know what he was doing. I just take granite and I'm chewing. And say, God, and I'm eating my granite. He just come. He said, look at this mimosa. Why are you throwing my granite? I said, granite, what is granite? He said, I think I left market. In the left market with granite. I didn't know what he was doing. Praise God.
Hallelujah.
Rome was not, don't come today and think tomorrow you're a billionaire. Why were you not a billionaire before you come here? Life is just gradual process.
Yes,
he said, for love of money is the root of all evil. Without money, you cannot get anything. The Bible says money is a defense. Without money, you cannot go far. Everybody, I like money too. But in a way that is right. Try to get it in a way that is right. Don't run faster than you are scheduled. Now me and them. Now me and them. You think they are stupid people here? You think it's like that and this land is like this? It doesn't work like that. How you work it over there in Africa, it doesn't work like that here. If you think you know, they will tell you you don't know. Don't cut your life short because of money. Don't destroy the hope of your people. There are many boys where we kept during our time it was too rampant. But when they go about, like if you are not following them, you're a stupid person. I said to them, all of you, wait after 10 years, you will look how far. Praise God.
Hallelujah.
Calm down, take calculated attempts and effort, and you will meet up. Amen. God has chosen you to succeed, and you must succeed in Jesus' name. Because whatever God decides to choose, that thing will prosper. Amen. Anything God lay his hands upon will prosper. Amen. God has laid his hand upon you, and you must prosper in Jesus' name. But choose God. Choose his ways. Refuse to be defined with what others think about you. Don't allow fashion to lead you in a wrong way. And don't be foolish. Don't take the foolish decision because others are doing it. Just joining the bandwagon. And don't run faster than your shadow. Don't run faster than your shadow. Do a normal thing you must do. When it is time, God will remember you. At appointed time, your time will come. And that time is now. As long as you're on the God's side, you will make success in this land. Amen. As long as you remain to obey God, you will succeed in this land. Amen. So don't follow those people that think say me and them, me and them. It always ends in a bad way. When your people call their handy 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, no answer, do you know the pain? All their hope is gone. All the hope they had. It is one thing to say, my brother is in Germany, and they call you, talk with the brother, wait, I will do this. They have hope. But the moment they call you and no answer, they call again, no answer. They call their friend said they didn't see you, they do here. All hope is gone. Yeah. Bible says, to him that is joined to all living, there is hope. A living dog is better than a dead lion. Live your life so that you live tomorrow. Amen. Don't live so that you just end the night. You can end the night and still money will remain. Bible says, for we came into the world with nothing, and we will leave this world with nothing. No matter how much money you have, when you are, I was listening to this man, they go to Uduagu. He said, we are preserving our life only to keep it for death. The best cream, the best food, the best everything, keeping it for the termites warm on the earth. Because without all what you have eaten and all the cream, when the person dies, you go down. The worm will take over and begin to eat those good things. No matter how much houses you have, you can only sleep in one room and on one bed at one time. So why all the hustle? Why must you kill yourself because that person did hotel, the other one is doing this? Take it easy. If God say yes, no one will say no.
Amen.
And their own time is coming. And as you do that in the month of August, slow and steady wins the race.
Amen.
Slow and steady win the race. Do the right thing, commit everything into the hands of God, and He will establish you in this life. Let us be on our feet. Let's open your mouth and thank God. Thank God. Thank God for this word you have heard. Thank God for today. And I read a place for you, and before we pray. Our prayer is going to be taken from this place I want to read now. And I'm reading Exodus chapter 23 and verse 2. As you are standing up. Exodus 23 and I read verse 2. He said, "You shall not follow a crowd to do evil, nor shall you bear witnesses at a trial so as to side with a multitude to pervert judgment. You shall not follow the crowd to do evil." You are going to pray, say, God, anything that will make me to follow the crowd to do evil in the month of August, may the power of God take them away from me. Open your mouth and begin to pray. Pray and say, God, in the month of August, I shall not follow the crowd to do evil. In the month of August, I shall not find myself in the wrong side of the word of God. Because the Bible said, you have chosen me. Open your mouth and begin to pray. You have chosen me that I can bear fruit. Help me that I can bear fruit in the month of August. I will not live in the wrong way to bear fruit. I will live in the right way to bear fruit. Because He said, he that abides in me and abides in Him, that one will bear fruit. You need to abide in Christ this month of August so that you can bear fruit. You need to abide in Christ this month of August so that your life will record increase. Father, help my people to bear fruit in the month of August. Help us to bear fruit, to live according to your will. Help us to bear fruit, to live according to the will of God in our lives. Father, this month of August we are coming into, we know you are destining us to succeed. You are blessing us to do the right things, to live the right way. Father, may that be our portion. We bless you, Father. We magnify you again. We thank you, ancient of days. For in Jesus' mighty name we pray.
Amen.
Father, pray for your congregation. They have heard their word. Father, I ask that as you have chosen them to bear fruit, may you give them the grace and the power to bear fruit. May you give them the grace and the power, the ability, the understanding, so that they will bear fruit in the month of August. Father, they will go and they will succeed. They will go out and they will succeed. Everything they will lay their hands upon this month will prosper in the name of Jesus. Father, any enemy that will come to take them away, to do evil, we cut them off in Jesus' name. Any enemy that made them to do foolish things, we cut them off in the name of Jesus. Anything that went to throw them away so that they will live according to word, we cast them away in the name of Jesus. May you be able to help us to renew our mind according to your will in the mighty name of Jesus. We cover them with the blood of Jesus. Month of August shall be a favorable month. As we will go into the month of August, Father, may your spirit and your grace be our portion. To grant us favor, to lead us to wherever we failed before, to succeed again in the mighty name of Jesus. Father, we shall continue to live in good health. In Jesus' mighty name we have prayed.